Hi guys, it's Max here with dartsreviews.tv in association with dartsplanet.tv. We've got something a little bit different for you today. We've got some dart points from Pharaoh Points. Quite interesting. Not really done a review on dart points before. I usually sort of like change them as and when I need to. But yeah, these look quite interesting. So what I think we'll do is we'll head on over to the table and we'll have a closer look. So we're over at the table with the Pharaoh points. We've got 4 different points sent out to us. We've got the Ramses, the Tutankhamons, the Nefertiti, and the Cleopatra. Come in these like little plastic holders, which I think is really, really good. I love these because you can actually keep quite a few different points in there. So if you do a lot of point changing, you can keep all your spare points in them and what have you. Um, First out, we'll take out one of these ones. You can see how grippy this point is. It's like really rough all the way down, which is really, really good. Goes from the point pretty much all the way to the back. So little bit of a downside. I do prefer having like a smooth section at the back because it goes into the dart a bit easier. But if you're having to glue these in or anything, it's good having the roughness because that'll hold it in really, really well. This is the Ramses. So we've got the black ones here. And as you see, it's got the rough section at the front, just on the point section, and then smooth at the back. So these ones are sort of like more the type I prefer because it's easier to go into the point. We have the Nefertiti. This one's got like a pattern cut out all the way down. It's sort of like zigzags and spirals round, which is really, really good. If I sort of like try and get that so you can see it spinning around. So this is more of a normal point, but it's got like a very shallow groove going round where it's being cut in. So still adds a bit of grip into the board though, I expect. But we'll see how that holds up. And again, this is one where it's just at the end of the dart, and it's quite rough, but it's like flattened out sections. Yeah, really, really nice looking dart. Again, a black point, so it's smooth at the back, but it's not too thin at the front as well, so there's not much chance of the tip snapping or anything when hitting like the wire or anything. But it feels rough, and I can feel all the different sort of like flat edges, which is really, really nice. What happens is with these, you've got these 4 different styles here. We've got the 30mm, but it comes in loads and loads of different lengths. You've got 26, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 41, 42, 50, and 55. An absolute beast of a range of different point lengths. But yeah, they all feel decent, strong. I'm pushing them all down. Nothing's like bending or anything like that. These are really, really rough at the front. So yeah, really, really good points. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in my darts. We'll have a few throws with each of them, see how they hold up and see if they damage the board and what have you. Check to see, make sure we're getting decent penetration and all of that as well. So yeah, when you next see us, we'll be over on the dartboard. So we're over in the dart room. I've gone and put the Tutankhamun points in my darts first. I'm going to have a few throws with them, and we'll see sort of like how easy they are to pull out of the board, if it pulls any size, or and mainly to see if it's changed the way my darts go in at any point. So I'm just going to have a few throws, and then we'll go have a close up and have a look to see how easy they are to come out of the board. So nicely, the darts are going in at the same angle, which is really, really good. They felt easy to come out the board. Oh, nice ton 40. Another steady ton, like a good ton. Just throw a couple at the bullseye. Oh, a little bit round. Okay, so looking at the actual dartboard, it's not caused any damage or anything. They've gone in at a nice angle, and feeling the dart, they're gripping really, really well. They're not coming out, but with a little bit of pull, they come out really, really well. Okay, so now we've put the Nefertiti points in. Quite a nice looking sort of like point with the black, and the milled out section there is nice and silver, stands out well. So I'm going to have a few throws with this, and then we'll have a closer look. Or a nice ton 40. Got a bit of a deflection, and the dart didn't fall out, so it's definitely gripping the board a bit more. Oh. That's me throwing it a little bit wild. They're going in a nice depth, which is really good. And a nice steady ton. Right, let's throw a couple at the bullseye, and then we'll see how they look. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as you see, I hit the darts each and every time, and they didn't fall out, which is what they need to do. They're definitely gripping okay, going in a decent depth, and they're nice and easy to pull out as well. So now I've put the Cleopatra ones in. These are the ones that are like a standard black point, but has been like filed down, so it's like zigzagged and flat edged and really, really sharp at the front. So I might sort of round out the point just a little bit, just so it doesn't dig into the metal or something. So yeah, let's have a few throws, and then we'll have a close up. Oh, ton 40. A little bit high with that one. Oh, definitely gripping the board really well. Took a little bit to pull them out. Oh, very wide. All the dart points so far haven't affected the flight of the dart. The misses are purely me just not throwing very well. Okay, so let's throw a couple at the bullseye, and we'll have a look. Okay, so all the darts held in nicely. This one deflected off straight into the bullseye, which was really, really handy. But they've all gone in at a decent, nice sort of like depth. Definitely gripping onto the board really, really well. As you see, I'm having to use a little bit of force. Finally, I've gone and put the Ramses points in. Gonna have a few throws with this, just the same as last time, so then we can go in and have a closer look. Oh, big deflection. 1-2-1. But the point held in nicely onto the board. all still going in at a nice angle. Or a nice ton 40. And a steady 60. Okay, have a couple at the bullseye now, and then we'll zoom in and have a look. Well, they're going in, getting a nice penetration still. Not going in as deep as the last ones, but definitely still grippy. Having to use a little bit of force to pull them out of the 25, but holding really well. Right, well, I've thrown all of the darts. They all went just as they should for dart points. So what I think we'll do is we'll go have a final thought, and I'll give you what I think about each of their grip ratings. Well, the actual points themselves work really, really well. Didn't change the angle of flight or the entry point or anything like that. Worked just as they're supposed to as a dart point, but they are definitely grippier than normal dart points. They held really, really well, even with deflections. All of them done that, but at varying different grades, I'd say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grade them as a grip rating. As a base of reference, a standard steel tip point, I'm going to give it a rating of 1. A black coated point, I'll give it a 1.5. So with these, I'm going to start with the Tutankhamun. These are the ones with that rough grip that goes the whole length of the barrel. Went in really, really well. Because the grip goes the whole length of the actual point, it doesn't matter how hard you throw or anything like that, there's lots of it gripping into that sisal. I didn't see any pulling out as I took it out of the board, and I did have to use a little bit of force, but not too much because it wasn't an overly aggressive roughness. So it worked really, really well, and I'm going to give it a grip rating of 3.5. I think that's fair for this one. The next one I am going to do is the Nefertiti. That is the one, the black point with the like silver wiggly woggly line going around it, almost like a snake, really. Um, Worked again really, really well because there's more of the black point on there. It was a lot easier to pull out. Um, didn't have as much to like grip at the very very end, but it still held well with a deflection and that. And you did have to use a little bit more force to pull it out. But with this point, I'm going to give it a grip rating of 2.5. I did think that might have been a little bit high, but like I said, with that deflection and the way it held in, I have to give it a little bit higher than I initially thought. The next one would be the Cleopatra. They're the ones that have got that sort of like really angled out point. It's like really filed down into an aggressive sort of like zigzag sort of pattern. Quite sharp as well. I'd most probably file that out a little bit and just round out the very, very tip ever so slightly, just so it doesn't dig into the metal at all. With this one, I'm going to give it a grip rating of 4. Quite an aggressive grip. I did have to use a lot of force to put it out. It held really, really well with deflections, and being just at the point and still having some of the black dart point behind it, I got a decent penetration with it as well. It did slide in quite well. The last ones are actually the ones that are my favourite, and I think I'm actually going to keep in my darts, and that is the Ramses point. Very, very similar to the Tutankhamun grip at the very, very tip though, so it didn't go the whole length of the point. It was only just like the last like 10 mils of the point. So I still got a decent penetration, but it was easier to pull out as well, and didn't damage any size or anything like that, which is really, really good. Because some people worry about that and using up their boards a lot quicker than normal, but I didn't notice any of that in the throws I had. Obviously, throwing them over a longer length of period, I'd mostly be able to give you a better idea of that. If you've got a set of these or looking at getting a set, you got any questions or anything, let us know down in the comment section. If you have got a set of these, it'd be fantastic to let us know how your board's holding up and how easy you're finding it So it's still pulling it out, and if they're keeping their gripiness over a longer period of time. Make sure you head on over to dartsreviews.tv and dartsplanet.tv. Lots of stuff on there. There's articles, competitions, and maybe even a giveaway or two. And it's whether you got 5 minutes or half an hour, there's always a good read. Make sure you tick subscribe and tick the notification bell. Lots of stuff coming up in the future, reviews for darts, shirts, cases, all sorts. And as always, come back, check that again soon. Bye.